Hello and welcome everybody, welcome to a 2v2, and you're sort of thinking, wow, a 2v2, what is all that about? We're going to watch a very interesting one. Normally people aren't too interested in 2v2s, but how about a Grandmasters 2v2s featuring two pretty popular players? Down here at the bottom right hand side, of course, we are on Reflection, I believe this map is called. I don't actually play 2s myself too often because it gets very cheesy, it gets very ragey. As we can see here, is our Zerg player Meat. His teammate down in the opposite little corner of the base is Potatoes. Their foes are EGDemuslim and also EGStephano, who will be playing as a Terran. So it's a TVT, a TT versus a ZP. And that's what we're going to be seeing here today. Looks like they're actually going to be doing a little bit of cheesing straight up here, while the guys have a little bit of a ragey chat there. Interesting to see some of the terminology used by both the players, but it's all in fun, of course. It is, you know, it's team games on the ladder, so this is what this kind of boils down to. So 2v2s, of course, not the most popular of sorts of things, but I'm sure a lot of people still play it. Basically, the only reason why we're going to have a look at this one is because it is a little bit of a fun game, and we get to see some high-level pros taking on some other high-level players in a 2v2 setting. Not to mention, we get to see Stephano play a little bit of Terran. I'm not actually sure. I know EGDemuslim has really good Protoss as his off race, but I'm not sure about Stephano's off race. I'm going to guess that he may be pretty good, obviously, but is he pretty good with Terran? We'll find out. Looks like they're both going to be doing a little bit of proxy racks action down the side. No doubt going to be some Reapers. Looking at this map, of course, you do have the destructible rocks just down at the back here, which can be opened up to lead into your opponent's base. There is also a little bit of cliff space at this edge too, which Reapers can jump up on, which I am assuming we are going to see. Meanwhile, for Meat, he's already gotten those Lings now rushing their way across the map. For Potatoes, he's got a forge and building a cannon inside the main. Knowing that there was a little bit of cheese going on because both of these Terran players, well, the Terran players, I say that lightly, from EG, don't actually have any racks inside their base. So we're going to get a cannon up, we're going to get some Lings inside the main base here, just sort of sitting off to the side. I don't think Meat and Potatoes, the dinner team, want to release that the information that they actually have some cheese going on of themselves. But here we can see the first Reaper coming out from EGDemuslim, going to try and target down at least one of these workers. Does get one of the probes, but I doubt he'll get too much more than that. The photon cannon on the way going to help out with the defense, and it looks like they have executed command shift kill inside the main base. The Lings coming through. There is a total of 10 Lings in there, and they will be able to take apart the base of EGDemuslim. So it looks as if the economy of EGDemuslim is going to be put in a very shaky state right now. 4 SCVs left over for him. Will he be able to get out with any remaining? He's got 2 out on the map somewhere. We've got 1 just over here. I don't actually know where the other one is. We've got like same colors on, just so you guys can sort of see the teams. I suppose. Hang on, we don't necessarily need this. It's not like the exact same race all over the place, but Stephano coming back does need to protect his orbital command. Will he be able to do it? As we mentioned before, not too much damage getting done inside the main base of Meat and Potatoes. The Reaper's not getting too far, given that there is a cannon there. We've also got a spine crawler for Meat just at the side as well. So looks like the unrecognized team dinner, Meat and Potatoes, are actually going to get off to a wonderful start here. Can get a little bit of BM back and forth there between these guys, of course, continuing on, saying they should get back to Call of Duty. Stephano is going to keep his mining in good stead, whereas EGDemuslim looks as if he is going to try and get started on this gold base here. Has almost that 150 minerals, but unfortunately is going to have a hard time actually utilizing everything right now because he does need to get his economy back into shape. Looks like we will see the orbital command straight away. Going to drop down a mule on this gold and get mining as quick as he can. Meanwhile, EGDemuslim continuing to micro inside the main base. Wants to get a kill on that queen if he can, but Meat not letting that happen. And it looks like there is still just a little bit of a micro battle in the middle of the map. We see that the metabolic boost of Meat is still not really done anywhere near done just as of yet. He is going to get out a few more Zerglings though, and well, you know, this has turned really weird. We've now got Stephano taking a base down on his opponent's side of the map, looking to just see if he can get that hidden expansion up and running. Is going to try and micro about with these with the 1 remaining Reaper that he has inside his main base. The 3 Zerglings that are out are going to try and do their best to keep alive for the time being as well. The reinforcement Zerglings are certainly on the way, but will they be able to deal with this large contingent of Reapers through the middle section of the map here? Stephano really kicking it up a notch with his Reaper construction. two at a time, of course. In fact, for both players, two at a time coming along from EGDemuslim and Stephano, but the big issue is that their economies are not in the greatest of shapes. In fact, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, one SCV is not the greatest of shapes. He's now got two, so he's doubled that. Nicely done by EGDemuslim. He's got his mule mining away there, but it looks like things are going to just turn a little bit sour right now for the EG Terran player. Will be saved by his teammate there. Look, brings in a few Reapers along with all those Reapers of Stephano as well. These guys just sticking with the Reaper tech for now. Not willing to dive into any sort of other tech. Not to mention they can't really pay for it just as of yet. So just looking at the resource count there, we've got Meat not doing too bad, getting his tech on the way. The lair is going to get started, and his teammate Potatoes throwing down the Stargate, going to get some Void Rays out. And of course, that'll really help out in dealing with the various threats that these two Terrans might be able to throw at them. But the big question we've got to be asking is, can Stephano keep his teammate in the game for now? Of course, EGDemuslim still struggling to mine away at that gold base. Not only is the fact that that is already in a very precarious position, but also he just has no SCVs to get it all done. So looks like the Void Ray coming across from Potatoes, going to help deflect those Reapers that are trying to attack into the base. Meat also expanding to a natural just down here off to the side. So things are a little bit sort of dicey right now for the EG boys. They are going to be dealing with a couple of oracles, +1 to air weapons on the way for Potatoes, throwing out a little bit of a different tactic there. The Void Ray of Potatoes is going to be able to see if he can come across and take down these two remaining racks that EGDemuslim has. Keep in mind, these are pretty much some of the last buildings that EGDemuslim has available to him, and it looks like the Lings again have found a sweet spot here in the base of EGDemuslim, and that takes him down to a total of 2. Almost 1, down to 1. Will he get the last one? Yes, he does. And that puts the resource count of EGDemuslim. Well, he's still got a little bit of minerals left over that he can utilize to build another SCV. But the problem will be, will that orbital command survive the test of time? I don't think so. As the Reapers continue to march their way, or float, jetpack their way across the map. Looks like Stephano has got a decent total of them out right now. He's got a total of, how many is that? He's got 9 Reapers out on the map. Not really getting too much harassment done, though. So things are, well, you know, he's struggling to sort of make amends for the fact that his opponent is, his teammate is effectively dead right now. Void Ray does go down. We've got an Oracle just coming about from Potatoes. We'll try and maybe cut down a few of those Marines, maybe some of the SCVs as well. But it looks like the command center will be saved. EGDemuslim doing an excellent job getting across to the side. Stephano saving it with some repair there. Nicely done. That's a team spirit there, boys. EG teaming up there and doing an excellent job of keeping one of their own alive. But now we can see, speaking of alive, we've got Meat bringing along some fresh meat. He's got some roaches coming across. A little bit of micro there to keep the roaches out of death range just for the moment. But Stephano, with some good micro, should be able to take care of all of these roaches here. Who is now thinking of Wings of Liberty Beta, where you got to see 5 racks Reaper against roaches? This is the kind of thing that Zerg players used to have to deal with all the time. A little bit of micro there, nicely done by Meat, keeping the majority of his roaches alive, and that is certainly a good way to get those roaches into the fight here. So pretty much we can see the differences in the production tabs here. We get all sorts of things coming along for Stephano. He's got a starport, he's got some more SCVs, more Marines, weapons, stim, also combat shields being researched. For EGDemuslim, there's nothing for me to click on right now. He's got his orbital command back down on the ground finally. He's going to try and get back into mining, but the big question is, will he be safe to do it? The roach is still approaching the base, or well, I don't know, what do you call this? Like the third base of Stephano right now, but it is under threat. Meanwhile, last remaining building of EGDemuslim. Well, actually, sorry, third last remaining building of EGDemuslim, just scouting through the main base of Team Dinner. Looks like it will go down to the Void Ray and those cannons that are there, of course. And, you know, I'm struggling. If anyone could do it, I'm sure Stephano could. If there's a way to bring back this game, looks like he is bringing out mass Marines, of course, going to have some medevacs helping them out as well. And with 3 racks production, I suppose it's 3 plus those extra 2 down here, so it's about 5 racks production of Marines. And if he can crank out a couple of upgrades, we all know that Marines are a fantastic unit, useful skill to have. But you know, the fact that it is basically 2 versus 1 right now, I don't know if Stephano is going to be able to keep up, but he does have a third base now, just mining away at what used to be the base of EGDemuslim. And EGDemuslim, he is on the production tab now. We've got a refinery. I think we should give him a round of applause for that. Sticking around in the game this long, helping out his teammate as much as he can. Got a few mills down on the ground here as well, just mining away at that gold, bringing in a lot of minerals for him and may bring him back into the fight. But we do see one of the most interesting armies I have seen of 2v2s in Heart of the Swarm so far. Roach Oracle is the play of the day from Team Dinner, but it looks like the attack was not in sync there. No roaches at the front to tank up the marine damage, and Stephano says goodbye to the oracles, taking down most of the oracles there. Also, the void rays look to be very, very precariously positioned. They're just staying in range of those marines, of course activating the prismatic alignment, not actually affecting anything apart from those medevacs there. Of course, the marines not armored, that would be a very terrifying sight to behold. But more tech coming along from Meat. We've got the infestation pit now done, roaches on the way, burrow, and of course for his teammate Twilight Council, not to mention the triple Stargate production that he has had going. So looks like Team Dinner, Meat and Potatoes, is about to get prepared to execute a final attack here. Stephano is going to do what he can, though. He's got +1 on these Marines. The Roaches have got 0-0, so not exactly the best of upgrades for them, but targeting down a medevac. Nicely done by the Void Ray of Potatoes there. Meat is now free to push in here with some of these Roaches. Will he be able to get enough damage done? Not really sure. We'll see. Back at home for EGDemuslim, still just mining away, not really adding anything to the fights just as of yet, but the roaches are still trying to put that pressure on. Potatoes now taking a gold base of his own up towards the top right hand side. Stephano picking up just all sorts of bases everywhere on the map, just trying to do what he can to keep in the game while his teammate is attempting to get back in himself. The upgrade still coming about from Potatoes, +1 to armor, also +2 to weapons, charge, shields, and also more zealots now being warped in for the Protoss player on the bottom right hand side here. Looks like we are going to have a little bit of Zealot Roach action. Probably the Zealots just attack at the front, do a little bit of damage if they can get some hugs going on the Marines. And then, of course, the Roaches doing their own kind of damage as well. So we'll see if Stephano is able to hold this up. Of course, a few pings going out to say, look at that EGDemuslim guy. He is still in this game, and he is doing an excellent job trying to bring everything back, just continually producing those SCVs. Looks like the attempted 4th base of Stephano may go down. Some Lings now burrowing into this base here. Going to try and get some more harassment going. Of course, this is a relatively unprotected here. We can see that there's basically nothing here to defend for Stephano. Brings the SCVs onto the line. In fact, there are 4 Marines that come about trying to mow down those Lings. They do a good job of that. And, of course, Stephano will keep his mining in operation right here. Lings now popping out, trying to stop the harassment at that base, but Meat a little bit eager there. Lets those Lings die, not actually getting too many kills, but not to worry. I mean, look at the work account right now. We've got Potatoes sitting at 74. He's taken a gold base. His teammate's got 49 and 2 bases as well, and has also got that Infestor tech ready to go. Speaking of Infestors, here they come. We've got these guys just pushing across at the main, well, what is effectively the main base of Stephano. Bunkers everywhere. Zealots approaching it from the back. It's a flanking attack. It's like watching Jurassic Park with the raptors all over the place. Stephano coming in. Will defend quite nicely with these bunkers up in the middle. Unfortunately, not utilizing some of the bunkers that he had built to the side, and the Zealots now able to charge through. Looks like Lings, Roaches, and Zealots are going to be able to win the game here for Team Meat and Potatoes. Able to roll through here, but it looks like Stephano bringing in some of his Marines from the side there, being healed up by the medevacs up in the air, but I think it is just too much. Supply counts for all players starting to dip a little bit, but of course we see the Zerg and the Protoss of Meat and Potatoes just staying up in the race right now. Zealots tearing apart EGDemuslim, and that is going to be it, I would assume. Continuing to tear apart these units here are these Zealots. They've got some decent upgrades right now, of course, 1-1-2 and the charge, really helping them out, allowing them to get inside and do some good damage against Stephano. Continuing on the little bit of arguments in the chat there, but not too much to worry here. Looks like the Zealots are going to get rid of the last few remaining buildings at this base for Stephano. And again, EGDemuslim not really doing too much right now. Unfortunately, cut down in his prime at the start of the game. eBay block up at the top site. Interesting to see that. Meat trying to tear that down with those drones, but not going to have a fun time with that. And as we see, blocked off bases everywhere. EGDemuslim, you're not going to have the best of times here. Looks like we are going to see a meat in the middle. Meet up of meat and potatoes. There you go. Playing around with a couple of puns. Fungal growth attempts to go down there. Stephano now trying to drop inside the main base of Meat+Potatoes. Going to get a little bit of damage done, but not really too much. Colossi coming out. The Infestors are here. The Lings are here. The Zealots are here. And everything is destroyed. So, looks like the team Meat+Potatoes going to take the victory there in this 2v2. Hope you had a little bit of fun. Just a 2v2. Something different for a change. Make sure you stay subscribed to the channel. Say hi to me on Twitch, also Twitter as well, and also Facebook. I'll catch you guys next time. Doesn't matter too much to me. He's going to see just maybe the one gate. In fact, even if he got to look at that, but that does supply block retop just for a second here while he's getting all of his drones out. So the economy will start to really boost up here for